Well, welcome to this amazing healthcare business blueprint business breakthrough. In the next 50 minutes, I am going to walk you through a clear path that's going to help you get very clear about how you can sell out your services, have more cash, have more clients, and have more confidence. Your path to clients, revenue equals what? A peace of mind. A peace of mind knowing that you are able to make the revenue consistently in your business. A peace of mind to know that you will have the income you need to pay your bills on a consistent basis. The peace of mind to have the confidence that your marketing and your messaging and your sales conversations are going to be on point so that you can create the business and the practice that you've been desiring and knowing what's possible for yourself. This is a new beginning. And you might be saying, well, what's so new about this? Before we dive in, I want you to do this for me. I want you to eliminate any distractions such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, any messengers, any notifications that's going to limit your ability to really stay focused on the content that I'm going to share with you. And I really want you to give yourself permission to be really present and take notes and really think through what I'm going to ask you on this really amazing content-driven webinar and really just get clear about where you are truthfully and where you want to be. And yes, I know that it sounds weird for me to say, please give yourself permission to be present and to be focused so that you can get the most out of what I'm going to share with you tonight. And here's what I promise you. It's not going to be this boring blueprint that will make you fall asleep. This is the same high-level knowledge that I give to my coaching clients who invest well over $5,000 to work with me. What I'm going to share with you is definitely a new beginning, and the same framework and content and the same exact three-step strategies that I use to grow my business. And my goal is to really change the way that you think about building a business and marketing. So today I offer you a new beginning. For some of you, this may be a very important pivotal moment that's going to change your life and change your business. So my goal is for you within the next 50 minutes is to have a business breakthrough. And chances are you're going to really walk away with something that you can use and implement immediately that's going to set up your solid foundation for your marketing. And it's going to be something that most entrepreneurs really aren't receiving and really will probably never get to experience. We're going to go through a three-step part marketing model, and it's going to be fresh, a new perspective that's really going to help you grow your business. The goal for this training is really simple. A strategy that you can start using right now in your business that's going to help you have a better grip on what needs to be eliminated, what needs to be fixed, and what you should probably really continue to do within your business so that you can see growth. I'm going to really dive deep with you. It's not going to be surface, my friend. The next thing this training is going to provide you is a way that you can really learn today and implement tomorrow. I'm going to walk you through strategies. Like I said, a lot of entrepreneurs just don't have the knowledge around. They don't have the skill set to deploy, and they may not even have the right business model to really implement things really quick, fast, and in a hurry. This is not about fluff. I am a straight shooter. I like to give value. I like to give you just the very best of what I have in my brain, the knowledge and the skills that I have. So it's not going to be fluff, and it's not about, what's in it for me. It's all about what's in it for you so that your business can grow. And most importantly, this is probably a lot of the opposite things that you're hearing out there through other webinars and through different ebooks and free courses that are out there. This is going to be some new things that, like I said to you, I want to shift the way you think about building a business, the way you think about marketing, the way you think about your worth, and the way that you value what you do so that, again, you can have peace of mind, you have consistent revenue, so that you can have freedom. So this is not a fake live webinar. I'm not going to insult you. This is an on-demand training that you can go back and listen to over and over and over again. It's better for me to do this pre-recorded because it allows me to really just throw everything that I have into the content that I've created, and you just really set aside some time and really focus and dive deep into this. And it also gives me the opportunity to really focus on being in my business instead of just always working on my business. I still have clients that I work with. I still have marketing that I do. I still have public speaking events that I'm paid to do. So having an on-demand webinar is valuable not only for you and your time, but valuable for me and my clients and my time as well. I'm just going to get right to it. How do you know this is for you? This is for you if you've been thinking that you don't really know where you should be focusing in your business. This is for you if you are a coach, a consultant, a healthcare professional, such as chiropractors, occupational therapy practitioners, speech pathologists, physical therapy practitioners, physicians. It really doesn't matter your title. It just really matters that you are ready to create change. You're ready to create massive income and create an impact. And I'm going to basically show you how this is going to apply to your business where you are today. Let me ask you this question. Have you ever found yourself confused and frustrated by all of the gurus and the experts who are flooding you with so much information on the web and through ebooks about building your brand, gaining visibility, marketing, how to talk about what you do, creating that super irresistible offer, packaging your services, or having confidence during the sales conversation? Is that you? Raise your hand. I know I can't see you, but just raise your hand, because being honest and present and truth with yourself will only help you get to your goal much faster. Now, this is especially for you if you're doing the things like posting on social media, posting in Facebook groups, speaking at events, hosting events, and people are probably saying, oh my God, you did such a great job. Oh my God, your ideas are really working for me, but yet they're not handing over their credit cards to you. Been there, done that. Or this is for you if sometimes you don't have a system in place when you know that you're really good at what you do, and positioning and attracting clients who are really ready to pay you isn't happening fast enough. It feels like if you don't get this business off the ground, you're going to be either still stuck in the job that you really don't want to be at, or you're going to have to go get a job or work for someone, and that's really where you're trying to avoid. And you're probably feeling burnt out, feeling like you don't have a whole lot of time to spend with your family because you're always working on the business. You're always working in the business, so your creativity level is just not up to par. You feel drained. Your passion for what you love to do is deflating because it's just so overwhelming. It feels like you're always launching. You always have another idea and nothing really gets completed. And you're applying the tactics, but they feel very confusing and overwhelming. All the things that you've been hearing online. Wow. Here's a question that I'm going to ask you. What are your big goals for this year? I want you to write down some of your very big, audacious goals that you want to see happen for you within the next 365 days. Would it be things like having more revenue, making $10,000 a month consistently, reaching $50,000 a month in your practice consistently, hosting events, having more book speaking opportunities, increasing your offerings, raising your monthly fee, creating an online program so that you have more time to work in your genius zone. And it could simply be having more consistent clients so that you have a solid baseline income. So what are those big goals? Great. I'm glad you've kind of thought about some of your goals, which will help you just really become very clear as we go through this really powerful training. So my next question for you is, what goal do you have that just takes your breath away? Every time you think about it, sometimes it makes you very nervous. Sometimes it just makes you so excited, like you have those butterflies in your stomach. What is that big audacious goal that only you know that you have, that you kind of secretly keep to yourself and you really don't tell anyone? And it makes you say, sometimes, can I really do this? What are those top one or two goals? So as you begin to really get that jittery feeling about that goal that takes your breath away, like I said, in the next 50 minutes, we're going to have a big business breakthrough. And that business breakthrough is all about helping you really get clear on the problem, the prospect, the position, and your profit plan. And you're going to learn more about business and marketing in the next hour or so than most entrepreneurs will ever know. That's my promise to you. So I need you to clear your distractions, get your pen and paper, and I want you to really dive deep with me for the next 50 minutes. So yes, you really do have that big audacious goal. You have that goal that just lights you up. But there is somewhere that you are struggling. I remember struggling to attract clients. I remember struggling to talk about what I do in a way that just attracts people to say, yes, I need to learn more. I need to hear more, or I really need to just start working with you immediately because I am stuck. I too struggle. And if that's you, where you know you're having that moment of struggle, I just want you to shout, hell yeah, that's me. Man, I remember there was some mornings I used to wake up and ask myself, Kay, what the hell are you doing? You're reading the books. You're gathering the knowledge. You're trying to apply it, but there's something that still isn't working. I remember I would spend hours tweaking my WordPress. I would spend hours trying to craft an irresistible magnet like the gurus were telling me to do. I remember running to networking events. I remember just putting myself out there, spending time and dollars, just pulling income and time away from my family. And yet I was still struggling. I would apply for speaking events and people would tell me no. But I just knew that if I just could tweak something, that things could change for me. But did I know what to tweak immediately? No, I didn't. And then I just remember needing to pick up the phone to call on the CEO of a major, company and asking them for business. And yet it just terrified me to pick up the phone. I would literally just sit in my office and just cry, just dreading not to have to pick up the phone to ask someone to work with me. Do you remember the struggle? Are you having that struggle? So let me tell you a little bit more about who this Kay Richardson is. I am Kay Richardson. I am a mother of two beautiful, handsome, smart young men. I am a single divorced woman. I am an occupational therapy assistant practitioner for the last 20 plus years. I am the CEO of a six-figure consulting practice in healthcare who didn't have an MBA, who never ran a private office like you may see occupational therapy practitioners who have outpatient rehab centers and pediatrics and hands and clinics of the sort. I'm a paid speaker, and guess what? I hated selling myself. Does that sound familiar? So why do you care about who Kay Richardson is? I'm an author of two amazing books. One, What a Woman's Gotta Do, is the book that helps women get through the fear of doubt and helping them step into who they are meant to be and create a big impact in the world. Clients Who Say Yes is a book about helping you work through the objections, helping you learn how to maneuver a sales conversation in about 12 minutes with confidence, my friend. I have been featured in the Miami Herald as the go-to ergonomic consultant. I've been working with Broward County. I've worked with Cargill, a Fortune company, consulting employee training programs. Not only at the young age of 23, 24, I attracted companies like Adobe who hired me to be their ergonomic consultant. And even when I stopped doing the practice, their employee 4 years later told their HR person, contact Kay. She held my card for 4 years when they started having other issues to contact me. That was the great impact that I left with Adobe's employees. I've been a featured speaker for eWomen Network. So why do you care who Kay Richardson is? Because Kay Richardson is that person who didn't have an MBA, who had no formal training when it comes to business. I had to learn how to do things. I invested in myself well over $20,000 in coaching so that I can begin to get it right. Why do you care? I hated bothering people. I'm terrible at spelling. So if you see some spelling and grammar issues in this presentation, please don't kill me. It's all out of love that I'm giving you very valuable content. But most importantly, I, Kay Richardson, can help you build the business of your dreams. I can teach you how to make money legitimately and real money. So if you are ready to create a clear, straight path with a plan, then stay tuned. So here's what I want to tell you. It's all about having a big shift. And I know that when I had that really big shift, it required for me to really focus on keeping things very simple. There's a quote from Steve Jobs, and he says it best. Simplicity can move mountains. However, simplicity can be very hard to do and be consistent with because we always think that things need to be so much more complicated than they need to be. And what I figured out when I consume less content, watch fewer webinars, listen to fewer gurus, and I really just humbled myself and began to just dissect some things. And once I started dissecting what I'm going to show you here, the results were phenomenal. So if this sounds like something that's causing you overwhelm, or maybe even it may be frustrating you, this is really going to help you. And it's going to really be that big shift for you, I promise you. And I really started paying close attention, as I said to you, to the simplicity of marketing. Yes, there are so many things that encompasses marketing. But when we know what the foundation of business marketing really is, your life and your business will change. And I study the simplicity of successful entrepreneurs and the simplicity that worked in my very first business, as I explained to you, in ergonomics and consulting. And I promise you, this is going to be a game changer. Really clear focus. I had to focus. And I want you to get focused this evening as well. And here was the big secret, the big shift. I had to learn how to focus on only one thing. How would you do if you really took advantage of focusing on one thing? To know this, to really know that this one thing that I'm doing creates consistent revenue, creates consistent opportunities, allows me to charge my worth. How would doing one focused thing give you an advantage? It was getting me straight to the results. I began to have a clear plan. I was able to hone in on a specific ideal client. It allowed me to really develop my 30-second pitch, my power statement when I talk about what I do in the public. It allowed me to really show up during my sales conversations much more powerfully because all the things that I just pointed out to you allowed people to be ready for me. And it eliminated the need to sell. It eliminated the need to be pushy. And doing this really improved my sales conversation techniques. When I'm on the phone or selling from the stage at events, it's really clear because my focus is clear. And now that you know what needs to happen, you need to create a clear focus. I'm going to share with you the key 3 areas that drives business, success, money, meaning, and most of all, freedom. So your focus, my friend, let's get you focused. And the results, as I said to you, were just powerful, amazing. Once I became focused, I started booking more stages. The revenue just elevated. I started feeling more confident. I started just really showing up even in my body language. The result of focusing on one thing just will make a difference for you. And more importantly, I didn't do it using a piece together marketing tactic. I didn't use any complicated sales funnels, tripwires, all this SEO and boosting social media posts. All these things that they're telling you to do that really keeps you stuck more than anything because you don't have the foundation just yet to be able to do all those things. I just put 3 things into place properly, and I'm going to show you this. And believe it or not, it doesn't matter what type of business you're in, because I work with industries of all different types. So it doesn't matter. You just need to be focused and clear. So here's my question for you. What is the hardest part about marketing for you? I want you to write that in. Write it in on your booklet, on your piece of paper that you have for you in front of you. Is it marketing just as a whole? It just feels overwhelming for you. Is it getting clients? Is it really crafting your elevator pitch? Is it really talking about what you do in a way that people understand that it will be a transformation for their lives? Is it closing more sales? What is the hardest part about marketing for you? What is that big struggle? Finding the right clients, talking about what you do, or how do I get my message in front of the right people? How do I get people to see the value and pay me my worth? So I'm a coach and I like to give tough love. It's like I treat my clients just like I would treat my family. You know, I give them that tough love. I hold that mirror in their face so that they see and can answer these tough questions. So my question for you is, what are you working on right now that's going to grow your business? What are you working on? Building your website isn't going to grow your business. Tweaking your offer isn't going to grow your business. What are you really doing that's going to grow your business and move you closer to that big, audacious goal that just lights you up, that you wrote down? 98% of you probably had the wrong answer. And what do I mean by that? You have to be doing the right things in the right order, and that's what I'm going to show you today. And it's not about traffic, it's not about funnels, it's not about groups, it's not about Facebook ads. If you don't have the right foundation, your marketing is not going to do the heavy lifting for you. It's going to cause you to struggle during the sales conversation. It's going to feel like you're pulling teeth to get someone to even just say, hey, I'm open and interested in hearing what you have to say. So let's really dive deep into the meat and the potatoes. And I am going to move pretty quickly, but you're going to have this at your disposal to really go back and listen to it as many times as you can possibly listen to it. And I promise you, I am going to give you the opportunity at the end for you to get more help if you found that there's still some areas that you know that you're not quite efficient and competent in. I'm going to show you how you can get some help. And I'm going to give you as much as I can for you to leave here with clarity the very first time. That's my promise to you. I always like to say this: passion hat off, your business hat on right now. Very, very, very important. And I am going to say this to you: it is not your fault. And why do I say it's not your fault? Because the real problem is we went to school to learn a skill, and the universities did not prepare us to launch a business. They basically taught us how to do a job, how to do the thing that we went to school for. How do I treat patients? They didn't teach me about business marketing. They didn't teach me about branding myself. They didn't teach me about sales conversations. They didn't teach me the foundations of what it takes to build a successful business. Would you agree? You've probably been told, hey, build it and they will come. Everybody needs you. Build a brand, become an influencer. Create lots of content. Spread your word on social media. Get picked up by book publishers. Become a speaker. All those things, right? Those are the things that you've probably been told. Thankfully, there is a smarter way, a more profitable way, and a more impactful way for you to build your coaching business, your private practice, whether it be in person or online. The business that you've always wanted to build, the business that just lights you up. And the best part about this is you don't have to be confined to four walls in a clinic, because I wasn't. You don't have to even be limited to your local area. You don't need to even physically put your hands on patients in order to have a thriving business. You don't even need a huge following or a $30,000, $10,000 website. And guess what? You don't have to be a tech-savvy guru in order to start building a business that's going to create freedom for you. All you need is three things: true expertise that can transform someone's life. You have to have the confidence that you're able to help them. And you have to be willing to learn and take action. So my question to you is, are you probably saying to yourself right now in this moment, I probably know most of this, but I'm just going to go through it. Or I'm doing some of these things, so I'm not sure. All I need you to be is open and present and ready to implement the things that I'm going to share with you, whether it be today or tomorrow. The three simple steps that have made a tremendous impact in every business that I've ever created. And it's really simple. It's going to take you from point A to point B. Your starting point of where you're stuck and your ending point to freedom, revenue, and clients. And it's about growth, foundation, position. So we're going to dive in on the area of foundation first. So when it comes to having a solid foundation, I really need you to think about the perfect problem that you solve. And the key to clients who say yes is making sure that you are speaking to the right problem. You see this image on the screen? There's a hammer and there's a wrench. Now, there is a problem, but the tools are not the perfect fit for the problem. The wrench is trying to extract a nail. There's the problem. The nail needs to come out, but it's not the right tool. So when you think about the perfect problem that you solve for people, it creates a steady flow of clients, whether you're using social media, whether you're using just content on your website, webinar ads. You must speak to the right problem that your clients are having. If you're using the wrong problem or speaking to the wrong problem, you're not going to get the results that you want, which is more revenue, more clients, and more freedom. The problem that you solve is very important. It has to be very specific. Most entrepreneurs, they struggle because they have this thing of fear of missing out. You hear people saying the FOMO, fear of missing out on clients, because they don't want to put the stake in the ground to claim the results that they are just solving for people, because they're so afraid that people are going to say no. And the focus isn't on the burning questions that are coming up in your ideal client's mind. So you're not getting that immediate attention because you're not speaking to the right problem. You're not focusing on the desire that is coming up for your ideal client. So here's something that I use with my clients. As I stated to you, I'm going to show you the things that I dive deep in with my clients. So when you think about your client saying, help me, write down 1 to 3 of their frustrations or their pain. What are they trying to move away from right now in this moment? Let's say that you are a marriage coach or a marriage therapist. Right now, what is the pain that your ideal clients are trying to move away from? They're trying to move away from a very expensive divorce. They're trying to move away from the pain of hurting their children. They're trying to move away from the pain of just trying to even settle on all of their assets together. What are some of their fears right now? Will this divorce leave me broke? Will this divorce lead me to having bad credit? What are some of the fears that are present for them right now that they are trying to avoid? What are some of their goals and desires to rekindle that love? To have that spark all over again like the day they first met? What are some of their dreams and aspirations? To have that loving marriage that they saw their grandparents or their parents have 20 years from now. So in what I work with my clients around is really getting clear on the pain and the goal factors and the future of where clients want to be in their big vision and in their lives. So as I said, list those 3 frustrations. List 3 wants that they desire immediately. What are some of the frustrations that they want to move away from? What are they imagining for themselves? What's that inspiration? What's that aspiration that they want to move towards? So when I think about my ideal clients, and I'll give it to you so that you understand, they're moving away from being stuck in a cubicle. They're moving away from working long hours for a clinic. They're moving away doing 12-hour shifts. What do they want to change? not having time with their family, being capped on how much income they can create for themselves. What are they moving towards? They're moving towards the vision of their dreams to be able to make a huge impact. They're moving towards and desiring and aspiring to have that business that can just change the lives of people. They're thinking about, man, I can create a $50,000 a month practice. They're thinking about the vacation that they want to create, the family trips. Think about your client in a way that it speaks to their perfect problem. You have to sort through all of the things that your clients want. You have to think about their pains, their fears, their goals, their urgent needs, and choose one specific activator. So for an example, if you are a weight loss person, you can think about toning. You can think about losing weight. You can think about strengthening. But what's going to be that one activator that reflects the one problem your product will solve for your perfect client? It's going to be getting back to that 20-year-old body before you had kids. That is a very specific problem that's going on in the minds of your ideal client, my friend. So these are the steps to your perfect problem. When you get the perfect problem, it's going to upgrade your messaging so that your client's brain does not have to work hard to think, is this the right fit for me? Clients want to be able to quickly gather that you are the perfect fit for them. Let me tell you about one of my clients, occupational therapist, and getting her very clear about the specific problem that she solves through her product required us to become very clear about what's going to be the game changer for her to be the go-to company for the problem that she solves. And once we got very specific on that perfect problem, her messaging became more clear. She became more confident about her product, her book release. Her copy for her, the cover of her book became much more clearer. She was so excited to see the cover of her book because it gave her very clear focus on one specific thing. And it's not that she can't help people with other areas based on what she does. But having that clear focus allowed her to get off the hamster wheel of having so many ideas. Is this making sense? Is that probably where you are? You're thinking about all the things your products can do, but it's keeping you stuck. It's making your message watered down. It's keeping you very general. And it's really not serving you. So my question for you is, what is going to be your perfect problem that you're going to solve? Fill in the blank. Your perfect problem is. Now, I'm going to ask you this. We've gone through the perfect problem. I've given you some key areas to think about. How confident are you on a scale of 1 to 5? 1 being, I'm still unclear. 5 being, I'm very clear, I'm ready to move on. I got this, Kay. How confident are you? Rate yourself on your piece of paper. My confidence problem, I'm between what, 1 and 5. Write it down. So as we continue to build upon the foundation, taking you from stuck to having that perfect problem be so clear that it allows your messaging to be on point. It allows you to have more confidence to be able to even write some sales copy. It allows you to become very clear to even telling a 6-year-old how you can help solve a problem for them. It needs to be that simple. So now we're moving on to who's your perfect ideal avatar. Here's a fact. The quickest way to increase the effectiveness of your marketing is to weed out prospects who aren't the right fit. And whether it be for you and for them, it's for both of you long term. Think about that. The effectiveness of your marketing will be so much more powerful if you become clear and focus on one perfect client. You see, most entrepreneurs struggle because they don't really know who their best ideal clients are. They think, well, I can help a whole lot of people. But when you have that type of mindset, you really aren't going to help very many people, because having the image of one perfect client really allows you to expand and help more people. But until you become very narrow and focused, your business results are going to be very challenging. Your messaging is going to fail. You're going to be frustrated and feel like, guys, I keep talking to the wrong people. You're even going to probably have a hard time showing up in front of the right people to speak to them, to tell them about your product. And the second challenge that you are definitely going to have is that you're not going to have the right offer. You're going to be limited in your revenue. And like I said, you're going to be unsure about where the heck do you find these people, because you aren't clear about the perfect problem. You aren't clear about the perfect client. So here's the steps that I want you to take right now. It's time for you to become very clear and be very specific about who you actually help and who you don't help. So on a piece of paper, based on what you know that specific problem is that you solve and who that perfect client is and who that perfect client is not. I'll give you an example based on how I help really badass entrepreneurs who know that they're really good at what they do, but marketing isn't their strength, so they're not having the revenue. I don't work with people who are still trying to mull over their ideas about what their purpose is, what they're trying to do. I don't work with those people. I work with people who know that they are at the point where they're solidified in what business they're going to launch. I don't work with people who are trying to do 10 things at one time. Because how do you focus? Once you begin to move and get some baseline income, then you transition to the other things. Remember, clear focus. Get the focus clear. And when you create a clear picture of who that perfect ideal client is, your competition will not even matter, because your messaging is going to be so powerful. You're going to show up, and you're going to naturally be able to relate to the people that you want to work with. I naturally relate to people who come into my tribe, because I've gotten very clear They're high achievers. They hide sometimes. They're sometimes thinking it's not good enough. These are some of the key areas that are keeping them stuck. So we naturally work well together because those are phases that I've had to work through over the years in business. So I get them. I can relate to them. You want to have this feeling. You want your clients to have this feeling when they have just said yes to you. Yes, I am ready to sign up. Yes, I want to have you as my practitioner. Yes, I want to have you as my coach. Yes, I want to have you as my consultant. This is that feeling. Imagine yourself having this feeling. When you have the right problem and the right perfect client, which makes your messaging and your marketing work so much easier for you. When you know who that perfect prospect is, you work in your genius zone, my friend. You work confidently with people. You show up. You understand your one core purpose as your driving force. And you speak to a profitable problem. Remember what we talked about, that one specific problem? That's your profitable problem. So my question for you is, who is your perfect ideal client? Jot down maybe 5 things about that person. So I'm going to ask you, on a scale of 1 to 5, how confident are you that you truly are very clear about who that perfect client is for you? That perfect client that needs the transformation that you offer. That perfect client who's waking up in the middle of the night. How confident are you, my friend? So moving from point A to foundation to positioning. The perfect product. What's your perfect product that you're going to position in the marketplace? You see, when you think about the perfect problem, it's basically you understanding that it's going to be the thing that gets clients the better results. It's not this low ticket offer. This low ticket offer that some people are pushing can turn into a $5,000 offer. Remember I mentioned the high value? But you have to become very clear about the perfect problem, the perfect client, and then moving into the perfect product. Here's a secret that's always known. It's so much harder to sell a lower end product to someone because you have to do more convincing. They can't see the value. But when you begin to speak about problems that are premium offers, people begin to get it. So when you create premium price offers, it sets you apart from your industry. It even helps you create more confidence, and it creates more confidence in your buyer. And I call this your signature solution. And that signature solution needs to do 80% of the heavy lifting in your business so that it can alleviate all the time that you're trying to convince people of your process. So as you see here, there are ways that, you can look at different business models. People tell you books and info products, training and memberships, doing live workshops, group coaching, one-on-one coaching and consulting, or having a traditional practice model. Now, when we think about leveraging the time and the resources and the burden, books are very high because you have to sell volume. Group coaching is a high volume. Yes, you get to leverage your time, but you're constantly always needing to find people. You constantly need to make sure that your back end is very just cohesive. Then you have to decide whether or not you're going to have an onboarding process, whether people can just enter in at any point. So groups are great. Yes, you can have 100 people in a group, but really, are you there yet? One-on-one is a very low entry barrier, but yet you can have high results and high pricing of products. Having a traditional business model of a practice, product pricing very comparable, but your time that's required of you, yes, it is more time because you have to be physically with people. And we talked about the pros and the cons. Implementation, low leverage of a return rate. So the details of, when you have a product, yes, you use your signature solution for your book. You have to create more tripwires, more pricing, free generate enrollment sessions. When you have a practice model, yes, you can still use your signature solution, train your team, but yes, you're going to have to position them to sell. Team training on selling. Team training on upselling. But all of this leverages because you have a signature solution. So if you've been really thinking about one-on-one coaching and consulting, it's a very low entry point. You don't need a website. You don't need business cards. You need a developed process. You need to work through your genius zone. You need to have that perfect problem. You need to have $1 million message that's going to be your power statement. You need a way to convert people into clients. So what is your present product? What is your pricing and business model based on what I showed you? When you think about this, where are you? Where do you want to be? We show the pros and the cons. When you think about your service and product pains, private client patients, low-cost info products, and memberships generate low results for clients. Because in private practices, you're needing to produce on volume. So are you really giving people the quality time that you know you would love to? Or are you on to the next person because it's a volume-based business? Are you doing low entry products? You have a $25 membership program. You are going to have tons of people in order to sustain yourself. But when you can combine a model that could be a hybrid of what you're doing and you include consulting or coaching, you get to raise the bar on your earnings. So how do you transition from selling low price, high volume to offers that are really high valued and transformations that clients really want and need? So here are the steps. Look back at the list of the problems your clients have. Write down those steps that your clients must follow in order to move from the point of frustration to the point of desire. Even if it comes to being an occupational therapist, even when it comes to being a speech therapist, you can develop a signature solution that shows value. So yes, this can work. Even if you are a treating therapist, even if you want to transition to coaching and consulting, you can create your signature solution roadmap as a visual model so people understand a clear path of how they're going to achieve their results when they work with you. And you get to charge premium prices so that you can launch quickly and avoid living in the land of always needing to chase clients, which equals struggle. So when I talk about moving from being stuck at point A to moving to point B of being booked with clients with what I call the yes factor method that I work with clients follow this 9-step process. And it creates the ability for them to attract their perfect clients, and they sell out their services. Remember, I talked about your perfect problem. Remember, I talked about who's your ideal client. Now I'm showing you your signature solution. And then I talk about your $1 million message. How do you show up and talk about what you do, whether you're giving a signature talk, you're speaking in public, whether you're talking about your 30-second elevator pitch. It's your $1 million message. We also set up your profit ladder. What's going to be your entry point to having a sales conversation? What's going to be your $10,000 product, if that's your goal? What's going to be your offering? What's your offering? What are you offering? We craft that. We package your knowledge. Then we walk through your conversion marketing. Is it going to be public speaking? Is it going to be networking? What is it going to be? Is it going to be sponsorships? We help you work from your strengths. Being in group coaching doesn't allow you that. We also work keenly on your sales conversation, that yes conversation that's going to convert more prospects into clients. And guess what? Starting from point A, from being stuck, to point B, to being booked with clients. So when you think about the phases of your signature solution, what are some of those steps? What's that roadmap that you can walk people through? Thinking about the perfect problem that they have, thinking about who's that perfect client, what are the steps that you're going to take them through that only you, through your expertise, are really good at, that's going to create a transformation for people. So your new perfect product is what? Price point, business model. On a scale of 1 to 5, how confident are you that you can create your signature solution? How confident are you that you even have a signature solution yet? Even in ergonomics, I had a signature solution. So when I talk to my clients, I walked them through the transformation where they were starting from having a really high cost of injuries to having a more safe, productive work environment. I walked them through those channels. So I'm not telling you this from, a theory. These are things that I've used. These are things that have worked for me. These are things that allowed a 25-year-old to get into the doors of some major corporations. This signature solution opened up a door from a client hiring me to do an ergonomic assessment of his warehouse to giving me a paid opportunity to talk to over 500 of his other clients in his other business. So one opportunity led to another opportunity. And this can happen for you when you have these key things in place, when you implement the basics of the 3 steps that I'm showing you this evening. So the fastest way to clients with less overwhelm and avoiding doing the things that aren't in your genius zone allows you to be able to do this when you have a developed signature solution. Now, let me tell you about Georgia, one of my clients, amazing therapist. Working with her allowed her to see the opportunities that were available for her by creating a signature solution process. When she created this process, she was able to articulate to individuals what she was able to do. She was able to call upon physicians to have a conversation about how she can help their patients, their clients. She was able to get booking opportunities, speaking opportunities. The doors begin to open once we walk through her signature solution, understanding her perfect problem that she's solving, who's that perfect client. So when you do the steps that I'm sharing with you, it opens up so many more opportunities. So the final step of the 3 simple steps is growth. And when I talk about growth, I want to ask you, what is the hardest part about selling for you? Without sales, there is no growth. Whatever business does not wake up to sell, they die. Businesses don't close because they don't have great ideas. They close because selling stops. Think about that for a second. Every day you wake up to see a commercial on television, that is that company selling to you. If their ads stop, you forget about them. So we always have to be in the position of promoting, marketing, and selling what we have as a solution to a problem. Now, here's what the mistakes that I see a lot of my clients making when it comes to sales. They have this mindset of desperation. Oh my God, I really need to get clients. Mistake number 1. You don't need. You would like to have more clients. But when you come from a place of being needy, it shows up. You become aggressive. You become pushy. Your attitude changes when you hear that disappointing no. Mistake number 2 when it comes to selling. People tend to coach too much. You're not there to coach people on their ideas. I remember when I first started, I would get on the phone and coach people and give them great ideas. And guess what? They wouldn't need me because I've given them a lot of valuable information that if they really paid attention to, they could go and implement. So you're not in the business of trying to coach people to convince them that you're the right fit. And you're making the mistake, number 3, you're not focused on finding a problem. Just think about this. When you go to your own personal doctor, you go to the doctor says, well, what are you here for today? Oh, well, I feel like I'm coming down with a cold. Okay, well, tell me what you're experiencing. Okay, tell me more. Does this sound about right? How long? The doctor is trying to pinpoint a problem. Most people during a sales conversation are not pinpointing a very specific problem that their ideal client has or the problem of the prospect. There's a lack of leadership, which is also another mistake. Just imagine going back to you going to the doctor. If the doctor did not control the conversation and you just took over the conversation in your own way, that doctor does not have leadership in the conversation. You're, number one, probably not going to even feel confident in that doctor. Do not allow people to just bombard you with all their questions in the sales conversation. You take the lead. You're the one asking very powerful and specific questions during the sales conversation. And if you want to know what those questions are, you can go to the website clientswhosayyes.com and get my free ebook that will walk you through that. That's Clients Who Say Yes and How Do You Overcome the Sales Objections. That book will help you not only learn how to pinpoint the problem, how to take control and show leadership during the conversation. And oh my God, you're not here to try to impress people that you are the perfect fit for them. You're not here to impress. You're here to ask questions, to get detailed information to see whether or not they are a perfect fit for you and you for them. They're the person on the call for auditions. They're needing to really be very specific so that you know if they're a fit or not. And doing this in 12 minutes or less, they're on an audition call. Audition calls are not 30 minutes long. You get in, you get to the role, you get to the part, and it's in and out. Does that make sense? And selling is a skill and it requires consistency. You cannot perfect your skills if you aren't consistently having people to talk to. So again, we go back to, are you clear about who your clients are, the perfect problem you solve, knowing where to meet them so that you can consistently position yourself to have sales conversations. The best salesmen have probably had 10,000 sales conversations. They've perfected their skills. They've gotten better. I like to call it the yes conversation. It's a short verification and basically requalification process after they've shown interest. So you may have met someone at a speaking engagement, and at the end of the talk, they say, you know what, I need your car. I need to follow up with you. And you may ask them a few qualifying questions so that you know whether or not immediately they will be a right fit so that you don't waste time and your resources speaking to people who aren't a perfect fit. So when you get them on the phone during that yes conversation, they are auditioning for you. You are asking them the right powerful questions so that you know whether or not you all can move on to having the conversation that says, are you really ready to make a decision and fix the problems that you have pinpointed during that sales conversation? Now, my question for you is, how confident are you on a scale of 1 to 5 that your sales conversations are on point, that you are attracting the right prospects to even have the sales conversation with? Now, the last part of the growth section is, are you charging your worth? Are you really charging what you are worth, and why not? And you might be saying, well, can people really afford me? Am I allowed to charge this because other therapists or, consultants in my industry aren't doing this? Well, the competition is charging me less. Well, it's unethical for me to be able to charge someone this amount. Why aren't you charging more? Here's what I like to say. It's all about the transformation, not occupational therapy, not nutrition consulting, not marriage therapy, not ... People come to us and we are speaking to the transformation, not information. When you go to the doctor, you want to be transformed from your illness. You want to be transformed to the vision of where you want to be. You and your clients should be focusing on moving from this to that, the beautiful butterfly. You have to charge more. When you don't charge more, you begin to resent what you're doing. You feel like you're being taken advantage of. Are you feeling that way now in your business? When you charge premium pricing, everyone benefits. You attract better clients. You are reassuring people that they're going to get value. It forces you to create amazing results, which you're going to. Your clients are even more invested. They get better results. They implement. And the most important thing is there's more profits for you and less stress of how am I going to meet my budget? How am I going to be able to employ my employees? How am I going to be able to afford my next vacation? How am I? That question goes away. So your pricing equals your skills plus the transformation. So what is the one transformation that your ideal clients achieve when they work with you? So let me tell you about a client of mine, Amy. Amy is an amazing occupational therapist. She's a published author. She's just well known in the industry. When Amy came to me, she was not charging her worth. She was feeling frustrated. And after having one session with me, we transformed the way Amy talked about the one problem she solved. We transformed how she thought about who her one ideal clients were. She just lit up and immediately began to take action. And here's the handwritten note that I received. Thanks, Kay. I just got a new client and I raised my rate. It was no problem. I am making progress. And this was just one intensive session with me. 45 minutes to an hour. And we were able to get her to raise her prices and attract more new clients, and you see the results. So if you're feeling stuck, but know that you're damn good at what you are doing, you know that you want to make a big impact. You want to be able to sleep at night knowing that you have enough money saved. You know that there's nothing you won't be able to do. You know that you're going to have consistent revenue because you have a foundation, you have the position, you have the growth to book your services with clients who are ready. And you probably said this to yourself, I am going to build a successful business. But yet, you're just frustrated. And the only entrepreneurs who can do this and say this with confidence and achieve this will be the person who has a model. It's now the time for you to experience the growth, to experience consistent revenue, to be able to sleep at night and not have to worry about revenue coming in. And I know you're probably thinking, well, what if I still don't think what I have is good enough to launch? Colleen was there. What if my idea doesn't work? I've had lots of people think that. What if I'm just starting out? That was Georgia starting out on a new business as an OT, doing aging in place, being a consultant. But when you have the proper things in place, the foundation, you can achieve results. You might be saying, I have so many ideas, I'm unsure of where to focus. I don't have enough time because I'm juggling clients, I'm juggling a family, I'm juggling a 9-to-5. If you continue to make the excuses, you're going to remain in the same place. And you might have even said to yourself, well, people aren't going to buy into what I'm thinking. If you don't think that people are going to buy into it, then you definitely need to create a change. You might even be saying, well, I don't know how to position myself. I don't know how to talk about what I do even to a 6-year-old. Then there's help for you. You might even be saying, well, marketing isn't my strength. And I get that. Marketing was not my strength. I didn't have an MBA. I didn't learn marketing in school. So this is why I do what I do to help you elevate your expertise. And have you asked yourself, well, who do I think I am? Who do I think I am to charge this? Or who do I think I am to get on stages and talk to 500 people? You are ready. You just need to have someone walk you through the process so that you become more confident. Passion obviously led you here. You're good at what you do. You just need some help. There are over 1.6 billion websites out there. There are over 33 million YouTube channels. And guess what? You're probably doing the right things, but in the wrong way. Like the blogging, cold calling, following up, hosting workshops, doing public speaking, doing SEO, starting group memberships. But if your foundation isn't together, it's going to feel like a struggle. I've been there, done that. Your positioning isn't going to connect with the right people. Your growth is going to be stagnant. When I discovered the transformation, and it wasn't about the courses or the group coaching and the funnels and live events, you know, all the talk about the opt-ins, the webinars, the swipe files, the load, you know, you get loads of templates that people give you, that's only 20% of your success factor. The 80% is your foundation, the under the surface stuff that creates the stability. Your customer, your message, the right strategy, your signature solution, and your sales conversation. The rest of that stuff is surface. It's about the promotion. If your foundation isn't solid, everything is going to tip over. So in order to have success, you have to focus on the 80% rule right now. Not the 20%, but the 80%, which is your foundation. Your signature solution, your messaging, the problem that you solve, the perfect prospect. How you go from point A of being stuck to point B of being booked with clients. So, as I said to you, I want you to take action. And for the next 365 days, I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you around what I call the 5 1s factor. Okay? What are they? Remember we said one focus. So here are 5 areas you need to focus on. Focus on your perfect client, getting in front of them, articulating your message. Then I want you to really hone in your product. What's your signature solution? When you have your signature solution, I want you to think about what's going to be your conversion tool. Are you going to use free sessions? Are you going to have consultations? Are you going to have assessments? Are you going to have screenings? What's going to be your conversion tool to get people to enter into the sales conversation with you? What's going to be your traffic? Are you going to do public speaking? Are you going to have booths? Are you going to go out networking? So what's going to be your one driving factor of traffic for the next 365 days? And you do that for 1 year. Clear focus on your perfect client, the perfect product, your conversion tool, the traffic source. And do this for 1 year and see the impact that it's going to create for you. So here's what I want to tell you. That's a business fact. Marketing becomes so much easier when you know what to market and to whom you're marketing it to. Business fact 101. It's going to help you from moving stuck from point A to being able to navigate to getting to being booked with clients. So the opportunity, the 3 simple steps that I showed you are your foundation, your business position, your growth strategy. The yes factor is going to be your simple loop to close up and be the framework to help you find your perfect client, find the perfect path to the right leads, and save you time over the next 90 days. And to help you become consistent over the next 365 days. When I met Marisha, she's a life coach. She was just all over the place, not just zeroing in. When we work with where she was, because she had already had great knowledge in what she was doing, very skillful, just badass in what she was doing. But tweaking a few things gave her more confidence And it opened up the opportunity for her to create a 60,000 revenue plan. Huge turnaround for her. So when I tell you this works, it works, helping you move from stuck to being booked. Here's Erica, amazing hand therapist, amazing specialized occupational therapist. When we were working together, Erica was a kick behind rehab manager, was great at marketing, built a business for someone else. But when it came time, her husband wanted to navigate into them having their own practice. Working with her, I worked with her on her confidence. I challenged her to take the steps, to take action, helping her work through the process. Sometimes people have the skills, but they need that one-on-one accountability so that they get to where they're going. 3 years later, she has expanded her practice. She wrote me and said, Kay, without you, I wouldn't be here. So the transformation of one-to-one allows someone who was sitting at a job, unhappy, wanting to be in her own clinic, walking her through those steps, giving her the confidence that she could because she had the marketing skills. So sometimes it's the mindset. We have to have the mindset in place so that we can move to the next level. Registered nurse, again, helping her perfect her problem, helping her perfect her message so that she could have more higher paying clients, get more contracts. So not only are occupational therapists doing coaching, consulting, there are also RNs who want to do recruitment. But yet there are some areas because they weren't taught how to run a business in school. The results are simple. You know, does this sound like you? You have tons of ideas. You have a big vision and a problem you want to solve for the world. You spend all your time wondering where you're going to get clients and where the income is going to come from and when, most importantly. You're stressing because you want to make this work. You are secretly afraid if you're going to really be able to figure out how to do this. And you're just not wanting to be in that day job, or you're just not wanting to go back to a day job. You're spending hours crushing on the sites of gurus or people in your industry because they're kicking butt. You go for weeks or months feeling like, my business isn't moving forward. I need to figure this out. You've been doing everything that you've been told on the webinars and the 3-day video launches and large and low-cost nugget group calls. And most days you're feeling just really pissed off because you're not making the money. And you've been doing the things that the gurus have been telling you. You've done the templates. You've done the courses. So here's my opportunity for you. As I mentioned, I am giving you the opportunity to have a one-on-one conversation with me so we can see where you're stuck and what's your game plan to be from point A to point B. Being booked with clients, having cash, clients, and confidence, having that consistent freedom. I'm not saying that it's not going to require work, but it can be done. I've done it myself. I help clients achieve this. So the Yes Factor business plan session with me is going to help you become clear about what's possible for you. You're going to discover the one thing that's probably stopping you from getting where you want to go. Because you know that there's something stopping you, but you just can't put your finger on it. And even when you talk to your friends sometimes who have businesses, they help you out somewhat, but you're still feeling stuck. I'll help you with a 3-step action plan to help you identify the most powerful actions that's going to increase your monthly revenue. Because like I said, you're probably doing some of the right things, but just in the wrong order. And you're going to walk away feeling confident and excited and inspired to take your business to the next level. I promise you that this is going to be what you walk away with by the time that we're done with our time together. So I invite you to go to clientswhosayyes.com and click on assessments. This is going to be the game changer that's going to help you over the next 365 days move from being stuck at point A to getting to the end point of B, booked with clients for your business. I thank you and I appreciate your time. And if you want to connect with me on social media, feel free to Google Idea Igniter on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, and I would love to connect with you. Until then, your Yes Factor business plan session is available to you, and all you have to do is go to the website, fill out the quick little form so that I know where you are, what your challenges are, so that we can have the most impact during our time together. Until then, work through your fears and take action.